Do Lamont Roach have any leverage? Yes or no? I say yes and no. As we know, Tank Davis is a cash cow, and he can fight whoever he wants. Now, at the end of the day, Roach said he wants more money. Now, would the PBC and his advisor, Tank advisor, consider giving him more money? Right? And Roach is not signed to the PBC, as I know, right? He's not part of the PBC. And he is, how can I say it? A risk. Yeah, he's as simple as that. He's a risk. Because the first fight, a lot of people think that Roach won, right? And you have to understand, in a business, your cash cow, you don't have Canelo. Canelo's a free agent. He was with the PBC, but he's not there anymore, right? He's all over the place, right? But now your cash cow is Tank Davis. And if he loses, well, your stock just dropped. You understand what I'm saying? So do I feel that the real question is, do I feel like the PBC want this match for Tank Davis right now? And majority of his fights is in-house. That's the majority of Tank fights, is in-house. Unless it's someone like Pitbull Cruz with Manny Pacquiao as, promotions or whatever. But the only way I feel that he'll do cross-promotion is only when he feels like he's going to win the fight, right? So that fight could happen again, okay? And that's a cross-promotion. So I never say that it's all in-house. But it's only when he feels the favoritism to him and he feels like he could win the fight that he'll cross over. That's the way I see it. But either than that, everything is in-house. Or if he feels like he could win, right? Such with Roach, right? I don't think Roach is with the PBC. So right now, do Roach have any leverage? And I feel like PBC will kind of could use the excuse that Roach is asking for too much. Now, if Roach is asking for too much, that's an issue. But if he's asking more than what he got the first, he should, because he's the one that made this fight happen. And a lot of people thought that he was the underdog. A lot of people did not see Roach in the light that Roach wanted everybody to see him in. And he just exposed Tank. So now he's feeling like the rematch is something, because I'm going to tell you the truth, I will watch the rematch. Would I buy the rematch? I didn't buy the first fight. All right? I'm still thinking about, because it's all about competition. It's not that I have a bias against Tank. It's all about boxing, right? So I might buy that fight. I might buy that fight. Leading up to it, I got to see how it leads up to it. And that fight's supposed to happen June 12th, and I hope that fight happens. I really do hope that fight happens. They both deserve the rematch. So Tank could do what he got to do to see if that was a fluke the first time. And Lamont Roach, right now, he has a battery in his back. He got an energized battery in his back. See, we all saw this fight a certain way, and I'm sure that Roach has some negative thoughts about it because Tank is Tank. But now that he got over it, now that he went 12 rounds, now that he frustrated Tank in the fight, right? And Tank didn't get his way. And Tank hit him flush and he's still standing. And he got buzzed, but he's still standing. Now we got to see Roach in another light. And now Roach sees this whole fight in another light. And he just could play back and watch and be like, that's what I did wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah. So now he got this energy in him to say like, nah, ain't nobody seeing me the way they saw me then. And I'm not seeing me the way I saw me then. I'm seeing myself in another light. And this light is gonna shine bright. And I'm gonna do better than what I did, because now I can see what I did, the flaws I did in that fight. Now I could improve and not worry about getting knocked out, because I know this man couldn't knock me out. So there's some room for improvement. And that's the time he's on. That's the type of time that Roach is on. And is that a risk to Tank? Yes. And is that a risk to the PBC? Yes, it is. Because that's the cash cow. And that's the investment. And I always say, leave Tank alone. Okay? Yes, he could fight Shakur. Yes, he could fight Keyshawn Davis. But is he going to fight them? No. First of all, they're not part of the PBC. That's one. Two, they're a risk. 3, then they're even more of a risk now because they saw the exposure that Roach gave him. They see the exposure that Roach gave to Tank, and they could, oh, what? That's what? Oh, okay. I see where his flaws are. So now it's more of a risk. You understand? So I'm taking Tank, I'm taking Shakur, and I'm taking Keyshawn Davis out of the picture when it comes to Tank. I'm still doing that. And I'm taking Keyshawn and Shakur out of the picture fighting each other. Unless they keep building up something and saying little things here and there, and we might have some beef, right? And that day might come, right? And I hope it'll come, because this is boxing. This is not, y'all not brothers. Y'all not the Klitschko's. Y'all not blood. Y'all brothers that can make money and make the fight happen and leave Tank alone. That's how I see it. And if you're so much in love with each other and you're brotherly love, y'all can make money together and make the fight happen. That's it. But at the end of the day, we got Lomachenko. Also, Lomachenko saw the fight. And Lomachenko's like, oh, okay, I see this. I can see that. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on with Lomachenko. Back problems, back spasms, whatever. I don't know what it is. So I don't know how long he can stay out of the light and let these brothers do what they got to do. But do I see there's leverage with Roach? Okay, well, he's not the cash cow. If he's asking too much, that could be a problem. But that also could be an excuse for the PBC to say, yo, Tank, I think you should sit this one out. And now it's up to Tank to say, no, I'm the boss. You're not the boss. See, it's different faces, same scenario. Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Listen, are you going to get down with this fight with me, Al Heyman? No, Al Heyman's saying, no, I don't want you to do this fight. I don't. So now, Errol Spence had to go out his way and show him that he's a boss. Got another manager, and let the advisor stay over there and say, I don't need your advisement. This fight got to happen. And I know advisor said, I told you so, because you lost. I told you so, son. I told you so. So I know that the advisor is pretty much like kind of funny with having this fight with Roach, because Tank is PBC investment. And they want to see how long they can stretch him before he gets stretched out. That's basically it. So if the only thing I can see is that this fight might not happen, and PBC could say, well, we don't want to give this money to so-and-so because we feel like he doesn't deserve it, even though he do deserve some extra money because he made the fight that we didn't expect to see, right? So that's one of the things. He does deserve some more money, because like I said, the first fight, I wasn't care to see it because I thought it was a cherry pick. No disrespect to Lamont Roach, but he's a champion in his division and he has skills, but he just came up and he did the impossible. He made a draw. He didn't get knocked out. So I give him props to that. And I also feel like the next fight, he might end up beating Tank. And I'm pretty sure his advisor's thinking the same thing. There's a might and an if. If and mights don't pay the bills. Okay? So it's either stay away, make the excuse that Roach wants too much money, and we're going to give the fight to Cruz. We're going to give the fight to Cruz, right? We're going to give it to him, Pitbull Cruz, and whatever be would be. Now, the only way that Roach has more leverage, if he goes to Turkey Al-Sheikh, and he does get a little bit more money that he was asking for that the PBC don't want, and mush it in the PBC and Tank face and say, hey, I'm going to get this fight with Shakur. Now, when the fight with Shakur happens, this is where the leverage comes in, because two things can happen with Shakur. Either he goes in there and he survive or make it a good fight for 12 rounds. Now, if he does that, or he stuns Shakur. There's a lot of ifs here, right? Well, the fight would still be on with Tank, because he proved himself. He went 12 rounds with Tank. He went 12 rounds with Shakur, and he gave a good performance. Now, watch how Tank could get exposed again. Because if Shakur beat Roach flawless, like even went 12 rounds, defensive wizard, everything, doesn't have the power, but he was boom, boom, boom. He's contacting combinations here and there, and he went the full 12 rounds, and he won all the rounds. Well, a lot of people will say Shakur could beat Tank. that will be a good fight. That will be a good build-up for the fight. So that's how I see it, where I see that Roach could have leverage. But other than that, Tank can fight whoever he wants, right? And Tank can fight, yeah, that's true. He can fight whoever he wants, but we know he's not going to fight whoever he wants. He's not going to fight Keyshawn Davis. He's not going to fight Shakur Stevenson. We know that for a fact. So let's stop that foolishness right now. Yeah, let's stop that foolishness right now. But we know that he could fight in the Pitbull Cruz, right? Which no one didn't want him to do, so he had to go and search. And he searched. And he said, all right, we're going to pull up Roach from 130 up, right? And let's make this a DC and blah, blah, blah fight. And this is a hood fight and all this shenanigans. And that Cherry wasn't a good pick. So I do see that Lamont Roach do have some leverage. He still could get good money with Turkey Al-Sheikh fighting Shakur. He could make it a good fight with Shakur and go 12 rounds. Maybe stun Shakur. Hey, he stunned Tank, right? He might stun Shakur. He might get a couple hits in there. As long as he goes 12 rounds, he ain't got nothing to lose. The fight is still on with Tank if Tank wants to fight, right? To avoid fighting Shakur or Keyshawn Davis, right? I'm leaving Lamont Roach out of it. And I know a lot of people's talking about Lamont Roach. I'm sorry, not Lamont. I'm leaving Lomachenko out of it because I know a lot of people, I'm hearing people talking about Lomo and Tank. But see, Tank don't have no say in that. See, even though he has the power and he's the face of boxing, it's up to Lomo. Yeah, see, that shows you how much power that Tank Davis has. It's up to Lomo if he wants that fight. Lomo got to say yes. So kill that noise also. Kill that noise. The only thing I see is if the fight don't happen with Roach, which I wanted to, just give the man a little bit more money and let the fight happen, right? But if it can't happen, the only thing I can see him doing fighting is Pitbull Cruz. That was the first plan in the first place, and everybody was getting on his case about that. So he had to do. He was reaching, right? So that's basically it. So that power that everybody say he's the face of boxing, he got this power. He ain't got the power to tell Loma get in the ring. And we don't know what's going on with Loma, if he got back spasms, back pain, my neck and my back, and all this stuff. We don't know. But until then, I don't see a lot of options for Tank. And I always say, leave Tank alone. Let him fight Jake Paul if he wants to. Let him. If y'all about that money and numbers and pay-per-view buys and all, let him do what he got to do. But at the end of the day, he's a champion. Keyshawn, Shakur, and Lomachenko, these are all champions. Something got to give. Something got to give. It's either Shakur and Keyshawn are going to show that true brotherly love and come together and make that fight. Fine. If not, it's either Lomachenko, with his back spasms, he's got to leave, drop the belt, and move on. Something's got to give. But time would tell. Listen, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. I mix the lies with the truth and the truth with the lies. But at the end of the day, you love lies and you hate the truth. Because you're biased and you only want to hear what you want to hear. It is where it is. So that's why I say I tell lies and I tell truth. Because right now, if you're biased and you love Tink Tink, I'm lying. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay? Now, like I said, my channel, I'm doing other things. I talk about boxing. And, you know, I kind of get the thing of boxing. That's why I'm in and out. And I could talk like this and not be all day in boxing. You see what I'm saying? So I got other topics. I put it on here. I got another channel. But sometimes whatever I decide, I put it on this channel too. Because I talk more than boxing. Boxing is not the end all for me and the be all for me. And you see that when you see my other topics and what I bring up on my channel. I'm out.